Good morning and welcome to December 2025. As we step into the final month of the year, it's clear that winter is arriving with a bang. Winter is wasting no time. An active weather pattern is setting up across the U.S. From the west coast to the east, meteorologists are tracking a series of powerful systems that promise to keep things interesting. Instead of calm days, we're looking at a busy stretch with storms and cold fronts moving coast to coast. These systems are expected to bring a mix of heavy snow, gusty winds, and even some icy conditions in certain regions. For many, this means daily routines will be impacted, commutes could be slower, and travel plans may need to be adjusted as winter weather takes hold. The main drivers? The Madden-Julian Oscillation, or MJO, and the polar vortex. These two powerful atmospheric forces are working together to shape our weather in dramatic ways. The MJO is entering phases that typically bring colder weather to the central and eastern U.S., acting like a giant atmospheric wave. This shift in the MJO often leads to increased storminess and a greater risk of significant snowfall events. Meanwhile, the polar vortex is weaker than usual, letting frigid Arctic air dip southward. This means temperatures will plunge well below average for millions, with some areas experiencing their coldest start to December in years. This combination means frequent blasts of cold and a stormy start to the month. Expect to see rapid changes in weather, with some regions going from mild to wintry in just a matter of hours. Meteorologists are on alert, and you'll want your winter gear handy. Hats, gloves, and heavy coats will be essential as you head out the door each morning. This isn't just a quick cold snap, it's a pattern with staying power. The persistent nature of this setup means that winter weather will be a daily headline for the foreseeable future. Expect a series of storms and cold fronts defining the first half of December. Each new system could bring its own set of challenges, from heavy snow to dangerous ice, and even the risk of power outages in some areas. The setup is classic for a wintry, action-packed start to the season. For those who love snow, this is shaping up to be an exciting time, but it's also a reminder to stay prepared and stay safe. Get ready. Winter is making its presence known right from the start. Whether you're a fan of the cold or just trying to get through it, this December will be one to remember. Stay tuned as we break down what's coming next and help you navigate this active and unpredictable start to winter. Let's dig into the fascinating science behind why frigid Arctic air is making its way southward, bringing a dramatic shift in weather for millions of people. So, why is cold air surging south, and what's driving this sudden change? It all starts far to the north, where the world's coldest air is born. The source is Canada and the Arctic, regions that spend months in darkness and extreme cold. Here, bitter air pools and intensifies, creating a vast reservoir of frigid temperatures just waiting to escape. Normally, powerful upper-level winds, known as the jet stream, act like a barrier, keeping this icy air locked up in the far north. But this month, something unusual is happening. The jet stream, which usually flows in a relatively straight path, is turning wavy and unstable. A massive ridge has formed over Alaska, forcing the jet stream to buckle and dip deep into the United States. This creates what meteorologists call a trough, a deep valley in the jet stream. It acts like an open door, allowing Arctic air to spill southward in a direct, unimpeded path. Each new storm system that forms along this path acts like a conveyor belt, pulling down another surge of cold air and causing temperatures to drop rapidly across huge areas. This ridge and trough setup is a classic winter pattern, especially for the eastern two-thirds of the country. It's a recipe for frequent cold snaps, snowstorms, and wild temperature swings. The jet stream's dramatic wiggle is essentially opening the freezer door to the Arctic, letting waves of cold air pour southward and transform the weather in a matter of days. When this cold air collides with milder, moist air from the south, it fuels powerful storms and heavy snowfall, setting the stage for a dynamic and unpredictable start to the holiday season. So, bundle up and get ready. The polar express of cold air is rolling in, and it's bringing a taste of true winter with it. The engine driving our weather is just getting started, promising more surprises as the season unfolds. You'll probably hear the phrase "parade of winter storms" a lot this month, but what does it actually mean, and why is it so important for your daily life? Let's break it down. Instead of one massive, long-lasting blizzard, a parade of winter storms is a steady, relentless stream of smaller storm systems. Imagine a conveyor belt of energy, each storm riding the powerful jet stream as it sweeps across North America. This pattern can last for days or even weeks, bringing wave after wave of wintry weather. Each disturbance in this parade taps into moisture from the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic Ocean. When that warm, wet air collides with cold Arctic air, it creates the perfect recipe for snow, sleet, or freezing rain. Sometimes you'll see all three in a single day depending on where you live. The reason this keeps happening? The overall weather pattern is stuck, favoring repeated storm formation. The jet stream acts like a highway, guiding these systems along the same path again and again, making it feel like winter just won't let up. Think of it as waves crashing on a beach, one after another, with barely any time to recover in between. Each storm brings its own set of challenges, from heavy snow to icy roads, and sometimes even flooding from rapid snowmelt. The first storm is already forming in the northeast, and meteorologists are tracking several more lining up behind it, ready to move in over the coming days. This means the region could see back-to-back impacts, with little time to clean up before the next round arrives. Expect a rapid-fire succession. Some areas will get buried in snow, while others might see a messy mix of sleet, freezing rain, and even plain rain. The exact impacts will depend on where you are and how each storm tracks. The key takeaway? We're in for a period of unsettled active weather. Each storm's path will determine who gets snow, who gets ice, and who just gets cold rain. No two storms are exactly alike, so the impacts will keep changing. That's why it's so important to stay tuned to daily forecasts. Details will shift with every new system, and what looks like a minor event one day could turn into a major storm the next. December is shaping up to be one of the busiest and most unpredictable months in recent memory. From sudden snow squalls to lingering ice, the weather will keep everyone on their toes, so keep your snow shovels, ice melt, and winter gear handy. You'll likely need them more than once. The parade of winter storms is just beginning, and it's going to be a wild ride. Stay safe, stay prepared, and keep watching the skies. The first major storm is arriving in the northeast as December begins. Snow starts Monday night, peaks Tuesday, and winds down by Wednesday morning. The heaviest snow targets interior Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, and much of New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Mountain areas will see the most accumulation, a true taste of winter. Along the I-95 corridor, it's a close call. Cities like Philadelphia and Boston start with snow or a wintry mix, then switch to rain as milder Atlantic air moves in. New York City and Long Island will mostly see rain, with snow just to the north and west. The storm's track and marginal temperatures make all the difference. A small shift could mean a much snowier outcome for the coast. For now, it's a storm of haves and have-nots when it comes to snow. Forecasting this storm's rain-snow line is tricky. Temperatures will hover near freezing. Just a degree or two makes the difference between snow and cold rain. Without a strong Arctic high, milder Atlantic air sneaks in at the surface. Snow may form aloft but melt into rain before reaching the ground, especially near the coast. Interior and higher elevation areas will see significant, plowable snow, generally 3 to 6 inches, with some spots topping 8 inches. Expect heavy, wet snow, great for snowballs, tough for shoveling. This heart-attack snow can weigh down trees and power lines, raising outage risks. Take it easy when clearing driveways. It's a classic early-season storm, messy, impactful, and a sign of more to come. Winter has arrived. December's pattern is just getting started. November set the stage for this active December. The Midwest and Great Lakes saw record-breaking early snow, with some areas reporting their snowiest November in decades. Persistent lake effect and clipper systems buried communities, while the South endured days of dreary, wet weather. The Rockies also picked up early-season snow, priming ski resorts. Snow cover in the Midwest is reinforcing the cold, helping it linger for the next round of storms. This active November gives us confidence in the December forecast. The cold and stormy pattern is already established and shifting east. Winter arrived early, and it's not leaving soon. How do we know what's next? Computer weather models are our guide. The American GFS and European ECMWF models both show a persistent trough over the central and eastern US, meaning cold and active weather. Ensemble forecasts, which run models dozens of times with slight tweaks, point to a continued parade of storms. High-latitude blocking over Greenland is locking this pattern in place. While models aren't perfect, the trend is clear, cold and stormy through mid-December. Occasionally a model hints at a warm-up, but corrections keep the cold forecast on track. Comparing models and trends builds confidence in the outlook. The consensus: a wintry, unsettled stretch ahead. Stay tuned for updates as the pattern evolves. Now, a special treat. Space weather could bring the northern lights far south. A large, active sunspot is rotating into view, with the potential to unleash solar flares and coronal mass ejections, CMEs. If a CME is aimed at Earth, it can trigger spectacular auroras, even in the Midwest or Mid-Atlantic. Charged particles from the sun interact with our atmosphere, creating colorful displays. The stronger the solar storm, the farther south the lights can be seen. We'll be watching this sunspot closely in the coming week. If conditions line up, find a dark spot, look north, and enjoy the show. December could bring both snowstorms and auroras. To sum up, December 2025 kicks off with a cold, active pattern across the central and eastern U.S. The MJO and a weak polar vortex are fueling a parade of winter storms. The first major system is hitting the northeast now, with heavy snow inland and messy rain snow mixes along the coast. This follows a record-breaking November, confirming winter's early arrival. Weather models agree. More storms are lining up, with cold and snow likely through mid-month. Keep your winter gear handy, and stay tuned for updates. And don't forget to watch for the Northern Lights, nature's bonus show. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll keep you updated on what's happening in your neck of the woods.